Stock market weekly chart review for the week of February 6th through February 10th, 2023. Before we get into this, I want to invite you to look in the description to this video. You're going to see a link to ihavesuccess.com. There's some stuff for you to download there. Also in that same description, there is a link to this YouTube playlist. It's called, I think, Option Playlist for Beginners, with beginners in all caps. And then at the 1 minute mark, I'm going to be posting a video that'll come right up here. You don't have to watch it right now. You can watch this video, and then at the end of this video, you can come back and watch this. But in combination of all this stuff, this video that's posting, it's boom, right there, that link to that video is 5 reasons why you should sell cash secured put options. When you know why, the how-to becomes a lot easier. And with this download, and with that playlist, that you can either access it here through the I Have Success website or in the description below of this video. With those playlists, the downloads, and that video at the 1 minute mark, you should be in a position to have a theoretical understanding of what you need to do to be selling cash secured put options, with including setting up stock charts and using Yahoo Finance Screener tool for free to screen for some stocks. And then you can start paper trading it, practice it, see if it's something you want to do for your real account. Now, we ended the trading week on February 10th, and this next coming week, we've got some potential market moving things on over here. We got the consumer price index coming out on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we got core retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index, and I guess non-core retail sales on Wednesday. And then Thursday we got the producer price index. Those are the real big things that could potentially be moving the markets this coming week. Now let's look at what's been happening in the markets with these 6-month charts, each candle being 1 week. I'm going to start by looking at UUP. We see over the last, in the 6-month time frame, UUP, the dollar was moving up, and then right around here started moving down. Take a look at this date right here, right? October 10th, 2022. Now here we have the 4 main indices of the stock market: S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and Russell 2000. And you see right around here, stock market started moving up, right? Kind of in this, and I know this one was a little bit, look at this date, right? Look at the date right here. The 3rd, 10th again, 10th. Interesting, huh? As the dollar started moving down, right around the time the dollar started moving down, the stock market started moving up. And that probably happened roughly around with gold also. Gold really started moving up here on the 31st. So about 20 days later. So there seems to be, there is a bit of a correlation. Like, now I don't know if it's so correlated that you could use this for trading. What I'm about to tell you, I don't know if it's so correlated that you could use it for trading. Generally speaking, when the UUP starts going down, gold will start going up, and when UUP starts going up, gold will go down. That's has a relatively close correlation, where I definitely know some people that trade that as a strategy, right? They trade in like somehow in gold miners or whatever, gold ETFs or something, and they'll use kind of this inverse correlation, right? I don't know if that correlation is as strong with the in the stock market, but something I just want to point out to your attention. And this is just a little nuanced type of thing, and it's less about straight option trading or stock market stuff, and it's a little more about just a little nuance and a little higher level of financial sophistication, in as far as being a little more financially literate. All right, so this is basically it. Now, when people see like the stock market moving up, a lot of times what they are thinking is that number one thing that they might think is that the stock market is a representative of the economy, and they think the economy is doing good. That's a possibility that they could think that. But what they probably definitely think is that certain companies are doing good, right? And that may or may not be true, because sometimes what's happening, sometimes, not necessarily all the time, but sometimes what's happening is that the share of a company is not going up because the company has become more valuable, but the share price of a company could be going up because the currency you're transacting in is coming down. Now, why might you want to know that, right? Because I don't think it directly correlates, but I think that it's good to know so you can be a little wiser on understanding what's the value of this particular company that I'm looking at. Is the company going up because the fundamentals of the company have changed? They've become more profitable. They paid off a bunch of debt. They've increased their cash flow. They came out with a new product. Whatever it is. Or is it that the shares of the company is going up because the value of the currency you are transacting that asset in has significantly gone down? It could be a combination of the two, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to get stuck holding a crappy stock that especially for a long term, that you think is a quote-unquote good investment because it's been moving up, when in fact the company is still crappy, and it's just been your currency you're transacting in has just been depreciating. So yeah, I get it. It's kind of splitting hairs, but hey, it's your money. You want to split hairs, you split hairs. When it comes to good buddy Brent's money, Brent splits hairs. So we see that happening with the dollar. We see the VIX, which is the volatility index. Some people call it the fear meter. We see the volatility index it's basically dropped down over the last 6 months, right? Rallied up right around here. Is this around the 10th? Somewhere in there, right? Here's right around that. The 3rd, the 10th, right there. Look up right there again. Right, this is our candle of the 10th. Started going down, which would make sense because when this starts moving up, a lot of times this starts moving down. And I don't know if it's this moving up, or I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg. I don't know which one's the chicken, which one's the egg. But generally speaking, when the VIX is high, you buy, right? This is when you buy. When the VIX is low, you go. How low? I don't know, because it can go lower, right? Just something to keep in mind. TLT, 20-year Treasury bonds, they over the last 6 months, you see it started here, hit a high at that 116, and then right now it is down here at the 103. But it rallied up a little bit to get to that, right? Hit this low over here. So, but nonetheless, in the last 6 months, we see it's still down. Gold, did I talk about that yet? Gold, this is definitely a political. I stopped this video and I deleted it, and this is like my 4th time doing it, so I cannot remember what I said on this one. My apologies if I already said this, but gold had a bit of a run up, and look at this. We look over here, look up there. There's the 31st. So it looks like it's a bit of a lag. Start bottoming out right in here. The 10th was his final sell-off, and then over here at the end of the last trading week of the month, really started moving up, and a bit of the sell-off. This sell-off does not surprise me at all. Believe it or not, I really don't. I really don't care because I know it's true. This is a political medal. If you don't believe it, if you don't think this is a political medal, why do central banks hold gold? Right? Would that make any sense? Central banks are basically the banks of the government. They're the banks of the whole countries. So why would they hold gold if it wasn't a political thing? Right? When it comes to central bankers and when it comes to politicians, in my opinion, you want to watch what they do more than you listen to what they say. When you listen to what they say without watching what they do, you might not notice their hypocrisy. So it's good to keep your eyes open to hypocrisy. And so watch what they're doing. And definitely central bankers in India, China, Russia. I'm not sure about Brazil lately. But yeah, keep your ears open, your eyes open. I bet you a lot of central banks buying gold. All right, so oil. Crude oil has been going down. As I've been talking about in these videos, it's kind of been between this $72 and $82 range. When we looking at this weekly chart, we see it's really been pretty strongly between the 70 and the 80. But 72, 82, it's right in that sort of area. And we'll see. When it comes to crude oil, even though there's at least one time in history that this went negative, which was like in 2019, 2020. So it's relatively new in history. But for the most part, the risk is more to the upside. And I don't mean so much like, when I say the risk, I mean like you could have something happen like a drone strike on some oil refinery in some country, and then the price, boom, shoots up. Might not stay up for a long time, but if you're making trades, right, long, short type of trades, the risk is more to the upside. So just be careful if you're shorting. In fact, if you really don't even know how to do this, the only thing you should be doing with any futures contracts is paper trading. Because I'll tell you what, when it comes to real money with futures, there's a high chance that you will lose money. So be careful with that. Bitcoin. This is a futures price of Bitcoin. Really between this 25 and 20,000. Got below for a while here, but this last couple weeks it's been between this 20,000 and 25. Got up there. We see about 6 months ago it hit that high also, but pulled back. So let's watch it and see what's going to happen. It's on the top half of the 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average, right? Is it really that meaningful? Some people believe it is. So because some people believe it is, just like some people believe, some people believe whatever numbers are the truth, so they take action on that. So it's not necessarily that you have to believe that these numbers, like that a 200-day moving average has some meaning, or that these CPI, PPI, you don't necessarily have to believe that these are accurate numbers, but it sometimes is good to know that people are making bets, taking action in the markets, believing that it's pretty nuanced, isn't it? So, if that's too nuanced for you, you know what? Throw it out. Throw whatever else is in the bath water, right? But there is a saying: don't throw the baby out with the bath water. Don't throw babies out, even if they're kittens or puppies. Like, in fact, any type of baby, like give it a All right, now in Hawaii, some people are not going to let the baby cockroaches live, and I'll tell you the truth: if I saw a baby cockroach in my apartment, I'm going to smash that thing too. But for the most part, let a lot of babies live. So, anyways, I'm really off on a tangent there. Okay, we talked about the VIX. We talked about all that stuff. Hopefully, some bit of help. What are we seeing? Like before we move off to this, we're seeing a lot of volatility. I'm not sure if I did this one on this video. Look at this W pattern here, right? It's a W pattern here. Okay, now with this candle, it looked good, right? It looked good with this green candle, because we got our right hand side definitely higher than our left hand side, and then we're waiting to see if it's going to break past this little peak right here in the W, and it did. But look at this, the very next week, boom, pulled back. Ooh, all right, so this was a good W setup, but I don't know, right? If we would have saw the candle up here, or at least to the top of this range, that looks a little more bullish. This is showing us at minimum the bull's not too strong. Do we see, where else do we see that going on? Right here. Right. Now this one, I was still above, right? Still above, but pulling back here. It's not a guarantee, but it's just showing us that the little bit of weakness in the bull, not the strongest bull. Look at this. This one couldn't even, look at that. And then sideways, couldn't even break it here. What do we see over here? Oops, that was pretty lousy. What do we see? Sort of the same thing, right? Pulling back. I don't know. Well, on the SPX, kind of broke out. So we don't have the strongest bull. That's definitely what I would take out of this. We do not have the strongest bull, but you know, it might still be a bull. And we got technology really this week really seemed to break that fall down here, and we're still kind of in this. These are not very good trend lines here, but hopefully you can see that. And we got going on with we're really kind of compromising our bullish trend here as it's kind of going sideways and dipping down a little bit. Industrials, and closed the week over here. Look at this. Started. You know what? I'm on the wrong. I apologize. Look at that. I'm on one month. 1 month, 1 day. Nope, that's not the right one either. We want weekly. Weekly. Ah, man. Look at that. All right, so we see the same thing here. Here's our W pattern here. Almost looks exactly like the NASDAQ, right? But at least our price action is closer up here. All right, so maybe just in the technology sector, maybe we're going to see some more movement to the upside. Volume has been a little bit light, but we definitely got a lot more buying volume in the last month, 2 months than we have selling volume. Healthcare has really just been selling off. You see that smoothness going down. Are we setting up for a big W? Are we setting up for a big movement to the upside, right? Maybe. Could go that way, right? Could go sideways. Could go down. Volume. Look at that. Lots of volume is just really low volume, but it's been moving down. Let's see if it hits. Let's see what's going to happen next week. That should give us a bit of an idea. Over in the financials, we got this W pattern here. It's just kind of petering, right? There's a lot of things that were setting up that looking like it wanted to, like the bull wanted to run, but the bull doesn't seem to have a lot of energy. Not the most energetic bull, right? But we got a lot of these W patterns that we're trying to form. You know, is it going to be a breakout failure? Some of these sectors, it's looking like that. Energy is still kind of really volatile, but seems to be still in this uptrend. We see that we might really be in the sideways trend. I wouldn't be surprised, right? Look at in this area how many times it's pivoted. Pivoted here, pivoted here, pivoted here, look at right there, pivoted there, pivoted there, pivoted there, pivoted there. We're kind of like, I think this might be an area. So I'm really curious to what's going to happen in next week, the next couple weeks. And if you've been watching a lot of these videos, that's all I've really been saying is, right, let's see what's going to happen, see what's going to happen, see what's going to happen. But that's one reason why I'm a net option seller, right? Like, I'm putting myself in positions that 99% of the time, somewhere in there, I would say, like, overall in 12 months of trading, about 98% of the time, 95 to 98% of the time, I'm in option trades that I really do not care what the outcome is at expiration date. So it moves up, I'm good. It moves down, I'm good. It moves sideways, I'm good. Right? Generally speaking, that's what I do, because there's a bit of unpredictability here, right? And like I've told you before, your work schedule, the time zone you live in. I live in Hawaiian Standard Time. It might be 2 a.m. in the morning in Eastern Standard Time where the markets are trading. When the markets start trading, I'm still sleeping. And this idea of, oh, you could wake up and all this stuff. I could, but I'm choosing to sleep. Right? So you got to analyze your life too and see if being a net option seller would be good for you. But anyways, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, we pulled back a little bit here, but we pulled back a little bit right there, right? Let's zoom in a bit here. So right here, we pulled back, it went up, right? If we see it start going up next week, then I want to see what's it going to do when it gets close to this 420. Because right now we got a high, right? I guess you could look at it this way. We got a high. We got a higher 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 high. We got a low. We got a higher 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 low. So we definitely have been in an uptrend. How long is it going to last for? That's what I'm attempting to figure out, right? So how long is it going to last for? I think I'll have a better idea of how long it's going to last once I see what's going to happen around this 420 or the 400 area. So for example, let's say if next week it doesn't even get close to 400. Right now it's 408, which is almost between 420 and 400, right? It's a little closer to 400, but it's like $2 closer. It's still closer, right? But it's almost in the middle. So if it doesn't even get close, let's say it goes down to like maybe 407, doesn't even hit 406, and then it's just started moving up. Okay, then then we can tell. Okay, we got more strength on the bullish side. And if it starts moving closer to that 420 during next week, well, then that's giving us an indication. Now, the opposite is also true. If it starts moving closer to the 400 and it's moving away from the 420, and it seems like it's having a hard time, getting up to like 415 or something like that, then we know the opposite is true going that way. So we kind of want to see, how long is it going to take to move to whatever these price points are, and then once it moves to these price points, what's it do? Does it slice through butter through this 420? Does it slice like butter through this 400? Does it hit a bunch of resistance around this 420 and not go through it? Or does it get a bunch of support around this 400 and not go through it? All these things are going to give us clues as to which way is the pressure moving. Is the pressure pushing down? Is the pressure going up? If it's kind of equally going back and forth, which is what it's been doing, kind of for a while, but now it's had a bit of this up movement. Granted, it's really has some not as much volatility right here, but this really was quite a bit of a sell-off, and it took a little bit of time to get back up to this point right here. So, me personally, this is my bread and butter, man. Selling cash secured put options on stocks I don't mind owning. And some of these stocks I actually want to own almost possibly the rest of my life. Some of them I just want to use them for the wheel strategy. And in the description of this playlist, There's access to iofsuccess.com. There's a link to that. There's link to the playlist, option playlist for beginners. And at the 1 minute mark, there's that reasons why. With all that stuff, you'll be able to know what the wheel strategy is. You'll be able to start figuring this stuff out. You got to just kind of play with it. And selling cash secured put options on stocks that you don't mind owning, it really is. It's once you understand what's going on, which sometimes can take a while because it's definitely not a simple thing. It's kind of a low risk if you're doing a good job of picking companies that should be in business the rest of your life. But it's also kind of a low income generating thing. It's really like being the tortoise. But once you understand what's going on, it's easy. It's not really simple. There's a lot of moving parts. Like you got to know what a cash secured put option is. You got to know what the option chain is. There's like things that you need to figure out and need to know. Be able to look at charts. You need to be able to like pick a good company. Maybe you need to know like what the enterprise value to EBITDA is. What's a good enterprise value to EBITDA? How much debt maybe would be too much for a company you might want to own for a long time, or if you're just going to do the wheel strategy, what sector is this company in? There's things to know, so it's not simple in that regard. But once you know what you're doing, it's easy. It really, really, really is easy. It's as simple as figuring out once you figure out which stock you want to buy. Let me get off of that one. Once you figure out which stock you want to buy, simple as like what price are you happy to buy it at, and can you get some premium there? So with that, my friends, I hope you guys have a fantastic Sunday or whatever day it is you're watching this, and I'll leave you with one thing. Trust but verify. You never met these people before. You don't know where they make their money. You don't know what their agenda is. You are definitely not having Christmas dinner with these people. You do not know what their morals and ethics are. So you can trust but verify, right? Don't be a sucker to people's lies. With that, aloha.